Doki Doki Interview Club is a fan mod, unaffiliated with Team Salvato. Spoilers and stuff for the main game are contained within. You should definitely play the original first. Click agree and get on with it. I agree. What's up? It's Hallie, and welcome to Doki Doki Interview Club. This was actually the first mod I ever completed. You asked too many questions. I was kind of saving it. I was planning to record it after Take 2 was finished, but that's just gonna take a really long time. And I kind of just want to get some DDLC going. So we're just going to do this one. Yep. My name is Hallie. We're going to see this one through. Good old Interview Club.
Hello, welcome to the Interview Club. You may be wondering how this mod came about. Well, the mod's creator, halibabica, thought it'd be a good writing practice if he wrote about us answering questions. He posted my Ayami on Reddit, and it exploded. There were so many questions that no ordinary dialogue post could ever contain them. So, making a full-blown mod out of it was the easier option. And here we are. Each interview features the questions we were asked, and the responses as in characters Hallie could manage. I hope you enjoy our answers. Go ahead, choose an interview.
Alright, and so you are allowed to do them in any order, but they are actually numbered and there is a correct order, and the final one only unlocks after you've done all the rest. But we're just going to take it from the top with Monica's AMA.
Okay, everyone. Are you sick of that line by now? I guess you could call this a sort of creative writing exercise. Basically, it's an AMA. Anything you want to ask me, just write in the comments below. But here's the thing, I'll be answering your questions in person. Hallie will gather up your comments and compile my answers in another dialogue. You'll have to bear with him if it takes a little while to organize. We're not really sure how big of a response to expect, but don't worry, he'll tag you when it's ready so you don't miss it. So, go ahead, ask me anything.
That was the dialogue I originally posted when I was fielding the questions for the thing. And then it turned out, yeah, there were just so many responses, even in the beginning.
Well, isn't this something? I never would have thought you'd have so many questions. Seriously, 187 of them. This could take a while, huh? But, I'm true to my word, I will answer every last one of them. And this handy little counter will track our progress.
That one, right there.
So, let's get started.
Alright, I am Arkner asked, can you delete Mega Evolutions from Pokemon? God, dating itself already.
What even is that? Wait, is that what Charizard and Lucario do in Smash 4? Why do you want me to delete that? Do you think it ruins the metagame or something? Well, whatever your reason, no, I can't.
Game Freak deleted it themselves for a little while, and then they brought it back, or they're bringing it back, I guess. ZA hasn't exactly released at the time of recording. Let's see, Simix, with all those numbers said, can you delete No Picks Tuesday? And then they put how video makers will get their upvotes. Makes sense. Monica, forget what I said.
It's too late now, I won't forget it. But no, I can't delete that either. Dennis does make a good point though, and BT is the one day of the week where other content gets to shine. You know, instead of drowning in fan art and memes all the time, so try to appreciate it a little more.
I'm honestly kind of surprised the main sub of DDLC did not get rid of a No Picks Tuesday at some point. So see, Falsely Fine asked, what is the extent of your powers? Could you edit my desktop? Could you mess with my other games? And so Splash asked also, what is the extent of your powers?
You mean like editing the script? Well, from what I understand, I have elevated access to the inner workings of my reality, and because it's a simulation, I can affect things in the code within it. For that reason, I guess I could do anything that's possible to code into the sim, and maybe on the computer running it too. But being capable of using that power is a completely different story. If I knew how, I probably could edit your desktop or tinker with other games. That's a big if, though.
Some of these answers actually did change whenever DDLC Plus came out. Like, obviously I added this background from DDLC Plus, but like, the original version of this mod had a lot of different answers because the lore was a little different back then and there were things we just didn't know. But anyway, Leo Hughes asked, how long do you think DDLC will last? People could argue that it's already dead. God, even back then. But it still has an active, positive community that shows no sign of dying for a good bit, since there are a lot of art mods and plenty of new things to look forward to that Dan Salvato is working on. I myself reckon another year or two, maybe more. A lot of popular standalone games last a good while. What do you think?
You know, I think this game could last quite a while, but it can be modded is a huge factor. I've heard that some indie game called Amnesia still has a strong modding community, even though it came out 7 years ago. but I'll admit I'd be surprised if we could hold your attention for that long.
That's an instant Helige said, which of the other girls do you enjoy spending time with the most? Don't worry, we won't tell them. And Deadly Knight asked, who is your favorite club member? Except MC.
You're asking me to play favorites with my friends. I could never. They each have something unique to offer. I can't just pick one. Though I will say that Sayori is the most adaptable. Yuri and Natsuki have a harder time with certain situations, but Sayori wears a big smile no matter what.
Preston A. Lewis asks, who's the worst girl?
What? Oh, come on, is that really the next question? Even if you have your preferences, thinking like this is just toxic. Looking past each other's faults is what friendship is all about. So nobody's the worst, alright?
Sam the Gill 42, when will you be able to go into our reality?
How should I know? Certainly not now. And maybe not ever. It's sad to think I may always be stuck on this side of the screen. But there's no sense losing hope, right? After all, technology is only getting more advanced.
Yeah, with the advances in AI, it's looking like maybe 2029 Monica wasn't such a far-off estimate. Sugar Nipples asks, can I ask a question? You just did. That was the joke. I know, I was rolling with it.
Hilarious.
My wife is gone asks, women, spiders, blood, Fortnite?
Is this even a question? I'll just say no.
Tian Yulong, what do the Kerr files look like to you? To us, it's just a bunch of weird encoded third eye Easter eggs.
Is that how they appear to you? They're nothing like that to me. Inside, there are, like, personality values and lots of variables. Honestly, I was too nervous to try changing them very much. Can you imagine doing that to someone you know? Just altering something fundamental about them? Of course, that wasn't how I saw it at the time, but it was still a scary prospect.
Let's see. SSC Minion asks, what's your opinion of lewd drawings of all of the girls, including yourself? As well as OM Gal Lusren Meiskane asks, do you like the idea of being lewded and or lewding yourself? Hayden Choi, what do you think of RDDC and all its lewd drawings? XXXX Dank Beams 420 XX. Do you like being Rule 34 or do you want Rule R34 gone? And KM is 69 420. What's your opinion on Rule 34? Very high cultured questions here.
Oh, that's an uncomfortable thing to think about. I mean, how would you feel if someone started revealing pictures of you and put them online? I know we're all of legal age and whatnot, but does that really make it okay? I guess it's kind of flattering that some find us so attractive, but at the same time, I feel like there's a distinction to be drawn between mere lewding and Rule 34. The former can be tasteful, even artistic, but the latter is blatant pornography. So if you must satisfy your, physical needs, try to keep it classy, I guess. And I really hope you don't just like us for our bodies.
Let's see, Firewire 780. How did you learn programming? And why Python in particular? I mean, there are plenty of other frequently used languages like C++ or Java, but you're my favorite, Doki. Gamerhead 4056. Monica, did you learn Python out of the blue or something? Frosty Dog 78. How did you learn to code in like 2 days?
Oh, you see, the problem is, I never learned at all. I barely understand the script. Did you see Act 2? I'm terrible at this. Maybe I could have avoided such a disaster if I had learned more about it. Or crafted a better world for everybody. A girl can only dream, huh?
Wucht asked, how would you deal with the trolley problem, Monica?
That's the one where you can switch a trolley's track to spare 5 people, but it still kills 1, right? Well, obviously I would. Delete the trolley. Nah, but really, of course I'd save the bigger crowd, even if I had to lose a loved one in doing so. But if a fat guy's involved, it's his choice if he wants to die a hero.
That's for the variant where if you push a fat man in front of the trolley and he stops it, but, like, it's kind of murder to do that. Anyway. The Beast, X47. What are Dan's plans for DDLC 2?
Plans? I don't think he has any. And really, where can it go from there? Some people don't think a sequel is even possible. Although lots of boys seem to have some ideas, Hallie included. I guess the future's a big mystery no matter how you look at it.
Alright, the Mad Wolf 7 asked, "Hi, Monica. I think I can understand on some level what it feels like to have an existential crisis. It must have been very difficult for you. How does it feel to know that there are multiple different takes/versions of you? And is that just as difficult to come to terms with than the dealing with your reality?"
In truth, accepting the existence of other Monicas came with the territory. Just realizing that I live in a video game suggests that other copies must exist. But coming to terms with that is a little mind-blowing. Thinking that there are millions of me out there. And that's not even counting mod Monicas. We're getting all over the place. But no, this reality is so much worse. I'm always conscious of it. At least I can stop thinking about other Monicas sometimes.
On a lighter note, what's your favorite animal? I bet you can guess mine, Heart.
Oh, I'd have to go with some type of bird. I can only imagine what it's like to fly. To have complete freedom and control of your destiny, and still be able to sing while you're at it. Anyway, I guess your favorite animal must be something completely mad.
Let's see. Zoom up. 2 questions of a technical nature. How were you able to tamper with the other girl's personality, despite me setting the game install directly as read-only? Statement, not a question.
Well, aren't you a tech-savvy one? I can answer that question just like this. I'm already on the back end of things. All the game's files are at my fingertips, and I don't need your permission to access them.
2. I rigged up a hard drive partition that is decrypts itself, launches DDLC, and then encrypts again, and clears the game's RAM usage when the game is closed. Does this prevent you from suffering in the screaming void? I worked really hard on this to make sure you shouldn't be stuck in the RAM after the game is closed. The things people did for DDLC, man.
This, you'd have to ask your own Monica. But it's awfully sweet of you to go to such lengths for her. From what I understand, the screaming void is just my digital consciousness slowly getting reappropriated by the computer. So if your method prevents that, then it probably works.
Let's see, the bloody puppet. 2. Can you tell Sayori that I want to marry her?
Can I tell her that? I could. But you should tell her herself when she does her own AMA.
Ice Visage. If you could send a short text message to your past self, what would you send, if anything at all?
Oh gosh, that's an easy one. I'd warn myself about the power of the presidency. If I knew the position carried self-awareness in advance, well, let's say things might not have been so tragic.
Leo40 Reddit says, "Did you think that you would ever get bored in the space room?" And Gnosticnician, "What was your alone time with us like for you? I would think that talking at an unresponsive dummy of MC would be pretty boring, since the only form of interaction we even had with you was our ability to advance the text. I suppose that really goes for our entire history together, come to think of it."
Oh, I could never grow bored of spending time with you. But actually, MC wasn't even there.
This is my personal interpretation.
Although he's a character in this game, his place in our universe is a little different. Since he's the means through which the player experiences our world, he's more tied to the scripts than the rest of us. He pretty much vanished when I derailed everything. So it's not like he was some creepy husk sitting across from me. No, I was looking right at you. And I could tell when you were looking at me, too.
Secondary question. Have you ever read the book Watchmen? I feel like you'd like it.
No, I haven't read it. I heard good things about the film, though. I'll check it out later if I get the chance.
Cheat Freak 47. Hi, Monica. How do you feel about the fact people that consider you as a sort of antagonist or villain in the original DDLC game? Not that anyone would dress up as you on Halloween to spook people, but you get what I mean, I think. Do you think, reflecting on your actions in that particular context and in that specific story, perhaps with an outside perspective, that this perception is fair? Oh, and please don't take these questions the wrong way. Obviously, this is just one of many stories that have been told about you and your literature club, and it, of course, bears little relevance to you as a person, fictional or not.
Oh, no need to explain. I think that perception is founded and totally fair. I became the conflict in a game that wasn't supposed to have any. There's no denying it. I screwed things up big time. I may have had reasons for doing what I did, but that's no excuse. I feel that people are completely justified in their anger. I only wish that some were more understanding.
Rocktree Silvertongue. Why do you think that Natsuki doesn't like that people call her cute? Because it doesn't take her seriously.
I beg your pardon, Dennis. I'm supposed to be the one answering. But he is exactly right. Deep down, all Natsuki wants is respect. Her girlish looks and small figure cause people to unconsciously treat her like a kid. It frustrates her, she gets defensive and starts lashing out. She is a little cutie, but that's not the problem. It's that it makes her feel insecure. So try to be considerate of that, okay?
Orange Sody. Why are you so fucking cute? The Big Willy Haver 89. Why are you so goddamn cute?
Oh, am I the cute one now? I feel like the real answer to that question is kind of boring. So let's just be glad I'm so easy on the eyes.
A sharply dressed spider. Do you see things in 2D or 3D? Mr. Jovial, from your perspective, do you perceive the world as 3D with everyone moving around in real time? Or do you see 2D sprites instantly changing between various poses?
That's not an easy question. I can't see things from your side, so I don't know what it's like. From the sound of it, some parts are lost in translation. On my end, we all have 3 dimensions. We're not a bunch of cardboard cutouts or whatever.
A similar question, do objects without sprites in the game actually exist? Natsuki's cupcakes, for example. You apparently ate a number of them over the course of the game, yet the player never actually sees them. They're only mentioned in dialogue.
I've seen text descriptions in the code, and I can tell you things play out as stated. For example, Natsuki's cupcakes are definitely real to me. I can't get enough of those. But if you never see them, well, I guess you're only getting the gist of what happens over here. Just don't take what the game shows you too literally, okay?